starts of the week, the first one that we're going after is what the team that we were just talking about being 0-2 and needing a win, and that is Justin Herbert. And like I mentioned, the defense is definitely the main issue for the Chargers. I think that this offense is definitely going to have a really good time against the Minnesota Vikings. Whatever the over is, I might honestly take it because both offenses in this game are pretty good and they like to pass the football. If Austin Eckler is back, that will only help Justin Herbert in this matchup. Coming off of a 22.2 outing in week number 2, 305 yards and 2 touchdowns in the loss to the Tennessee Titans. Going on to the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings secondary is definitely one that I want to go after. We went after Jalen Hurts versus the Minnesota Vikings. He put up 27. I think that Justin Herbert can do the same. It would not surprise me he gets 3 or 4 passing touchdowns in this game. It's a game that both of these teams need. I think that the Chargers come out with their hair on fire. I think that Keenan Allen will do just fine along with Justin Herbert. So we're going to attack the Minnesota Vikings secondary and go with a game that it's going to be a high-scoring shootout. So have confidence in starting Justin Herbert. I think that the Chargers are going to do well this week. All right, let's go on to my running back start of the week, and we're going to go after Tony Pollard, the running back of the Dallas Cowboys. Almost back-to-back 20-point outings. He almost got it 19.9. If you round up, that's back-to-back 20-point outings.
I round up 20
for Mr. Pollard. So 25 rushes, 72 yards, definitely a well outing. He did add a couple of catches, but not very many yards. Not a touchdown in this one. He had a couple of chances to score a touchdown, but nonetheless, a very good 2 weeks for this Dallas Cowboys offense. They're absolutely rolling. Dak attack is back. Tony Pollard matchup is really good, setting up nicely, going up against an Arizona Cardinals defense that in week 1 fared well, and then week number 2 it fared well in the first half against the New York Giants, but they had an epic collapse in the second half. So the way that this matchup I'm looking at is the Cowboys offensive line going up against a rugged and young Cardinals defensive line. I just think that the Cowboys are going to completely overmatch this one. The way that the Cowboys defense has been playing, I just don't think this one is going to be remotely close. Look for Tony Pollard to get back into the end zone. It would not surprise me he gets 1 or 2 touchdowns in this game. Look for Mr. Consistent Tony Pollard to keep scoring 20-plus points for your fantasy teams this week. All right, let's get into the pass catchers, and we're going to go with a fan favorite, a guy we haven't talked about. It is Puka Nacua, baby. Puka. If you put him on your bench, well, you better start him this week. I'm not really concerned about the matchups anymore. Going up against the Cincinnati Bengals secondary that we talked about, they've had some holes in their secondary. But Puka, I mean, this guy had 20 targets against the San Francisco 49ers defense. And the 49ers, I talked about their defense. They're one of the best. And if you could continue to do that, I mean, in week 1, he had a really good game. But to do it against the 49ers defense, 15 catches, 147 yards. This man is a PPR machine. Cooper Kupp, who? Give me Puka this week against the Cincinnati Bengals as Matthew Stafford. Honestly, I had my concerns about the Los Angeles Rams offense. Didn't really know what to expect, but it looks like Matthew Stafford is fully healthy. I know even in the loss, the Los Angeles Rams looked pretty good. They put up 20 points against a tough matchup. But this week, they get a very good matchup on Monday night. So definitely make sure you put in Puka. He's a PPR machine. And Stafford is looking to him every single down. So Puka is definitely 100% lock for the start of the week. All right, let's get into some sits. Daniel Jones is back. Sorry to do this to you once again, Giants fans, but Daniel Jones has a very rough matchup this week. And coming off of a very good game, though, 31.74, but with Saquon Barkley out for the next 3 weeks, it's definitely what you want. So Daniel Jones pair that with a tough matchup. I just don't really see him getting 16.8. And they're going up against the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, whoever you have, the quarterback position or the running back position, just don't even start them against the 49ers. That's, with the secondary being strong and with the defensive line, I just think that Daniel Jones is going to struggle, especially on the road. 49ers are a 10-point favorite. I expect the 49ers to cruise in this matchup, especially with the Giants having a little bit of injury concerns with their offense. So sit Daniel Jones on the bench and wait for him to come back for a very good matchup. All right, let's get into our running back sit of the week, and we're going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers starting running back. I know this has come as quite some surprise. after coming off of a 21.3 outing, a very good outing.
My RB1
against the Chicago Bears, but not a very good outing this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. If you saw what the Eagles did against Alexander Mattison in that Vikings offense, it's the same that's going to happen to Rachaad White. I know that I definitely think he's still going to be involved in the passing catching department, but I just don't think that he's going to get the yardage that he had against Chicago. So if you don't really have any options, then, I would definitely start him. But if you have another guy, say like Kyren Williams of the Los Angeles Rams, I would rather go with him over Rachaad White. But if you don't have anyone else, then you just got to stick with your guns here and go for Rachaad White. But going up against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, that is very good against the rush. The Eagles, secondary got a little bit out it against Kirk Cousins, but they were able to hold up the past 2 weeks in the rushing department. So I would, bench Rachaad White against a very tough matchup. The last one that we're going, wide receiver sit of the week, is Mr. Treylon Burks, the first Tennessee Titan wide receiver to be featured on this list. And the Titans just continue to have bad matchups here. In week number 3, they have to face the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns secondary is one of the best in the league. They're playing right now against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm sure Pittsburgh's having a tough time against that secondary.
Actually, Pittsburgh is winning 7-3.
Okay, well, they got
it was off a defensive touchdown.
So that doesn't count. But really good game coming off of the Chargers. 3 receptions, 76 yards. Was able to get a lot of good catches. But against the Browns, this is somebody that I'm just don't want to trust on my starting lineup.